Baker Creek Loop is a wonderful, easy trail inside of Great Basin National Park. It is one of the few trails that are often accessible year-round, making it a great alternative when the roads are closed. This trail is especially beautiful during the wildflower season, which is usually around mid-June. Coming in at 3.3 miles long with 935 feet of elevation, this trail is great for beginners or families with children. One thing that you will have to keep in mind, however, is that at 8,000 feet above sea level, the air is a little bit thin if you are flatlanders like us. Since this is a loop trail, you can obviously do it in either direction. In this video, we will be doing it counterclockwise, but there is no specific reason. It's just what we did. Another thing to take note of is that you may want to bring layers up here. Even though we were doing this in the middle of June, the temperatures can swing pretty wildly. One moment it'll be nice and warm, and then the wind will kick up and it'll get really cold. Even though this is a beginner trail, there is no shortage of rocks, tripping hazards, and uneven surfaces here, so shoe choice is very important. And the other thing there is no shortage of is bridges. You will be crossing the river a ton of times on this trail. One of the really cool things about the Baker Creek Loop is that depending on what time of year you do it, you will have vastly different experiences. The trail will be the most challenging in the winter. There could be deep snow here and you may need snowshoes. In the spring, wildflowers will often fill the fields around the trailhead and meadows along the trail. In the summer, the top of the loop offers a sight of a green meadow, which can be seen in summer and late spring. And in the fall, you'll be treated to the changing colors of the leaves, which I bet would be pretty spectacular. Speaking of nature, don't do this because it's stupid. At right around the 0.6 of a mile mark, you are going to be leaving the forest behind and heading out into an open field. Be sure to watch your step because this is one of the few places along the trail that we spotted these sneaky little cacti. The climb is really going to be kicking in at this point, and even though it's not all that steep, it is relentless. You are going to be climbing pretty consistently for the next 1.3 miles. And you know you're getting up there when you see snow in June. Even though there were a lot of cars in the parking lots, we didn't see a whole lot of people on the trail. But that doesn't mean that we were alone out there. At one point, we ran into a flock of turkeys. I guess that the turkeys didn't want to join us for the rest of the hike, and soon we were curving off to the left to finish up this portion of the climb. This last little bit of the climb is going to be breathtaking in more ways than one. While it may not be as steep as our climb up to Moapa Peak, it's still going to have you breathing heavy unless you live in higher elevations. You will know that you are almost to the top of the climb when the trail comes down to meet the stream. At that point, you need to start keeping your eyes on the left side of the trail because eventually you will come to a turn and it's time to cross over the stream again. After crossing the bridge, you should be just about to the halfway point of this hike. You will still have a little bit of climbing left to do, but I think it's safe to say that the hardest parts are now behind you. Even though this is a fairly easy trail, we always tell people to bring more water than you think you need. You may be looking at V and saying, well, she doesn't have any water, but there is a good reason for that. You see, V is pretty much a badass. In this video, she is dealing with a bruised rib and she is recovering from a broken toe. With that in mind, I threw a couple of extra water bottles in my bag to make things a little bit more manageable for her. And And just like that, all of the climbing is done, and now it's time to drop down into a beautiful meadow. Before we got to the meadow, we saw this rock fall area, and it really reminded me of the slate section of the Discovery Trail when we went to see the ancient bristlecone pines. One of the really good things about this trail is how well it is marked. Whenever you see signs like this, you just need to follow the arrow pointing towards the Baker Creek trailhead. I was half expecting to see some wildlife in the meadow, but unfortunately there was none to be found. However, if you are there at the right time, you may see yellow-bellied marmots, mule deer, bighorn sheep, mountain lions or bobcats, and lots of other mammals and birds. One of the nice things about doing the trail in the counterclockwise direction is that from this point on, you are going to have the creek running right alongside the trail all the way back to the car. AllTrails estimates that you will be able to complete this trail in 1 hour and 59 minutes. However, as most of you know, we are a lot slower than that. We like to take our time and take pictures, and it took us 2 hours and 56 minutes. I know that our pace would probably drive speed hikers crazy, but how are you going to rush scenery like this? If you are starting this trail later in the day, you are definitely going to want to bring not only a headlight, but some backup light sources as well. Great Basin National Park is one of the darkest places in the entire country, and it's actually known as an international dark sky park. This means that the park is an absolutely phenomenal place to watch the stars, but not such a great place to get caught without a light. We only have 4 bridges remaining before we are back to the car, and I have to commend the park on these bridges. While these bridges may seem basic in nature, I'm sure that wild weather does wash them away on a regular basis. And the park has done a really great job of making sure that all of the water crossings are passable. If this video has you tempted to make a trip up to Great Basin National Park, which it should because it is gorgeous up there, you should definitely stay tuned because over the next couple of weeks, we have more videos coming from the park. This park has a lot to offer, everything from bristlecone pine trees to glaciers, caves, and so much more. And we look forward to sharing some of its amazing features with you. But that is going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe because it really helps out the channel. If you have ideas for adventures you would like to see in future videos, let us know. And for all the information about the Baker Creek Loop and other awesome Nevada adventures, head on over to 𝐿𝑖𝑣𝑒ThatAdventure.com.